A few weeks ago we were out drilling. I started noticing we had a hydraulic leak, and what I discovered is that I got a cylinder that is a part of my holding wrench, which is that cylinder right there, and that the spot where the piston comes out of it, I guess those thread on. Well, it has started to unthread itself and leak around the cap. So I've got to take those two bolts out right there and then disconnect the hose and then drop that whole cylinder down. I think in order to do that, I actually have to raise the derrick in the air, get rid of the wing bit, because right now I've got it holding the wing bit. You can't see it inside the skirt because the sun's so bright. I'm going to see if I can actually get the camera in here and show you what I discovered. I don't know if you can actually see it on camera or not. It's just the lip around that seal. It's not the face, it's the side of it. Let's see if you can see it over here. It gets you a little bit better perspective. But yeah, right there on the side, it's leaking. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that whole piston out, clean it. I'm gonna get this holding wrench here. We're gonna slide that and get this wing bit out of the way, take this big nut off. I'll be able to pull this whole slide out, then I can get in there and work. This wrench here is actually reversible, so there's a fork on this side and there's a fork on the other side. So since I've had this personally for about 3 years, I'm going to go ahead and flip it and get a fresh side of the holding wrench. And while I've got this all up here now, you see, just look at all the oil. See all this? It's all nasty. Now, this is all rock drill oil because I run way too much damn rock drill. But a lot of this is hydraulic fluid from this piece leaking, and then when I lift it up, it all kind of leaks all over it. So Mike did a good job cleaning it while it was in the air. I needed to boom the truck up to where now I can pressure wash it again and get all this stuff clean. Because, you know, this shit will light on fire. I've seen videos recently of guys' drill rigs just slap on fire because of negligence and not cleaning it. Now, it may not have been negligence. It could have just totally been a freak accident. But how a drilling rig catches on fire, I almost experienced it once about 10 years ago. There was a hydraulic hose somewhere in this area on my truck, and it blew. And the second it blew, it started misting hydraulic fluid all over the exhaust header. And that's why we kind of got it all covered really well. So this aluminum piece on the turbo is something that we made, but the black piece comes factory. So we wanted it all covered just in case of a mishap. Prior to the turbo wrap, we actually had a big sock that went over that kept it covered. But the minute our hydraulic hose blew, it just was nothing but billowing smoke out like crazy. So that was probably one of the first years within the first few months of me running the machine by myself. And Dad was there, but he had left to go look at another job. And I had to call him, and I think we got home late that day. But by the time he had got to the job from where he was at, we had taken the hydraulic hose off, got everything capped and plugged. We ran to the local Napa in that area, had them make us a brand new hose, went back to the site, put it on, purged the system to get all the air out of it, and then finished drilling and pulled out and came home. Now, we got home at like 7:30, 8 o'clock that day, but we were lucky to have it all done. I mean, shit, we were far from home. We were over an hour away, and got it fixed. I was happy about that. But since that had happened, we've had all new hydraulics put on the truck. All new hydraulic lines, pumps, all that stuff. And the only thing that was original were these jack pads. Those were the only original hydraulic cylinders that were left. At this point, the only original one is the front one. So that one's still pretty good. So I'm going to do some cleanup on this, and then I'll start the process of unbolting all this, taking this out, and then we'll work on the hammer. Jackson's been out here cleaning. Me and Mike been changing the oil on the excavator. I wanted to see how good he's got it. Oh yeah, I can see red paint again. look at that. Oh yeah, I think we knocked that out. I waited to pull that pin out one time. Okay, I got a loose hose up there I got to tighten, and I got to take all this apart. Okay. Okay, so we've got the big holding wrench taken out, and my thought of switching it around isn't going to work because this side over here is a lot more worn. So I may go ahead and order me a new one of these. It's not really in necessity of having one yet. Dad might actually have one laying around, but you just basically take these 12-sided bolts out, flip this, put it over there, and you can flip it around. So looks like Dad had already done that a couple years ago.
Yeah, ain't been long switch.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really remember switching it, but
yeah. Back when we changed something we were doing, and we changed it.
Yeah, I think it's when we changed his piston.
Yeah.
We changed that piston a few years ago, so the piston's not that old.
Right.
But I can't believe it's leaking, which sucks. So what we've got to do, there's 2 bolts holding it on, and then the hoses that are in there, I don't know if y'all can see them hoses. That's like a really difficult area to get into with a wrench. So right now, I'll step back and I'll show you. I got the derrick actually leaning. I don't know if you can tell it, but it's leaning this way. I probably brought the head forward about a foot, leaning like so. Because, let's get under here together. Let's see. I got to access right there those bolts. So you can see the gap. That gap right there, that's how far. And I basically opened it up to where I can have access under here between that and the frame to where I can get those 2 big giant bolts out. So that's what we're going to do now. Oh, fucking A. Now it's all wet. But at least it's clean. Alright, I just crawled out from underneath. I got the 2 bolts out and one of the hoses, and it slid forward enough to where we don't have to take this other hose off. But you can see right there. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's got a gasket.
It pinched the O-ring.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly. Well, it might have pushed the O-ring out.
Right.
Okay. We're going to get some brake cleaner, putty knife, scrape this off, clean it up. Now I can just take this off. See if there's enough air left in this. Nope. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pull this off and we'll take it completely out. Okay, you can see the O-ring bulge. Okay, that should be enough. I guess that got it, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be afraid to take it all the way apart. Right now it still is okay. As long as I can get it back in without the O-ring wadding up. I'm assuming pressure pushed it out.
That's what I'm thinking.
We'll just get some air, we'll blow that out. Put a little silicone grease on it, see if I can tighten it back up. I went ahead and just packed it with some grease. We'll see if that does it. May work, may not. Trying to make it to where that O-ring will slip right into where it's supposed to go. Okay. Let's check to see if it pinched and pushed out anywhere. That looks good. Hot dog, I think we got it. Okay, well, we've successfully tightened it, saved it. I don't think we have to replace the O-ring. With as big of a gap and as little as it was leaking, it shouldn't leak anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and get a little wire brush, clean these up a little bit. Gotta get my brake clean, make sure those threads are clean. They look dirty right now. That fan feels so good. Yeah. Looks like they're pretty much clean to the bottom. That one's got some junk in it. I think that one's got some pieces of thread in it. It does. Some pieces of thread in it. Wow. I'm gonna have to go in there and dig that out with a screwdriver. Got the piston all back in, bolts tightened down, hydraulic hoses all in. It's looking good. I was tired of it leaking. All right, now I got to put this wrench back, and then I'm I might have enough time to change that bit. I'm not sure. All right, let's put the wrench back in. All right, well, I'm not gonna be able to have enough time to change that bit today. I'll make another video on that, strictly just changing the bit out. I went ahead and I climbed up the derrick and cleaned every freaking little inch of it. One of those 4, see those 4 in a line right there? One of those was leaking, the one on the far left. It's been leaking since they had put them on. I just hadn't climbed up there and tightened it. So it might have dripped a few times in a day, but wasn't really enough for me to worry about. But I got that all tightened, got it all cleaned. Top of the control panels cleaned. I sprayed the chain. I got about 90% of that clean. And all of the carousel, got that all looking nice and neat. Got the table looking good. Then I started working on the hoses that are in the tight area over there. And Mike's going back over it again. Because a lot of what I cleaned, it sprayed it all, you know, blew some of the grease into other areas. Oh, so she's looking really good. I like to keep a clean machine. So does Mike, for that matter. Hot dog. Looking good. I need to get up and grease the fan. Something I haven't done in a while. Well, we got the rig back inside, and it's all clean. Oh, I'm so happy. Just in the nick of time, too. Because look at it. Pouring down outside. Didn't have much time to spare. But boy, oh boy, that is a beautiful, beautiful sight. We are in desperate, desperate need of rain here. Like, so bad. I think the whole country's in need of rain. Anytime we can get something like this, it is a beautiful sight. Oh yeah, before I go, I want to give an unnecessary shout out to Boxo. Man, I bought their toolbox like 2 years ago at this point. I love it. Like, it is so nice to have something so organized, and when you're OCD and you can have it all in one spot. I get frustrated when I gotta find stuff that I know I have, and then when you got something like this, there's like no frustration because you know where it's at. I mean, it's just beautiful. And then, like, yeah, that'll piss me off. I gotta go find out where my 7/16 is. But it's worth having tools. Like, if you own your own toolbox, is something that I didn't know. If you already own your own toolbox, you can go to Boxo, and then you can just buy the tool packages and then fit it into your toolbox. Just measure it to see if the length and the width and everything. That's what I'm gonna do at my house, because I've got I think I got the 65-inch really, really big boy at my house, and it's just all cluttered, you know. And I think for about $600 to $700 I can fill the whole thing up top to bottom with organized tools. But I don't know, I just like supporting companies. Boxo is somebody that supports Cletus, so I bought from them strictly because they were advertised from Cletus. And then I think a lot of the other YouTubers started using Tang tools, which they probably all come from the same factory, you know. But damn, she's clean. I love it. Heck yeah, no more drip coming out of there. That thing was dripping like crazy right there at the end. Well, now that we've gotten all this rain, shit, I don't know what the next job site I'm gonna be able to get on. We went and dug a well a couple days ago, and we got on site just fine, and then it downpoured like this for 20 minutes. We couldn't get the water truck or the drilling rig off the site because the driveway up was like this. So we could get all the way to it, and it would go up, and then it would stop. And then I'd get another run, I'd go up, and then it'd stop. The customer, homeowner, builder, whatever, they only bought a load of gravel and split it between 2 lots. So it didn't have much gravel on it, which I was a little aggravated by. But yeah, so we had to leave both trucks there overnight. Had to get the secretary to come pick us all up. outfit her SUV in towels because we were just sopping muddy messes. Then the next day we went back and brought our service truck with all the mats. We had to mat it out of there to climb the hill. We got out and we were going to go to the next job site and put it on there. We were already drenched in sweat by the time laying down the mats, getting the trucks out, picking the mats back up, scraping the mud off the mats, loading them up on the trailer and taking them to the next site. It was just, we were spent. And I told Dad, I said, man, we don't have any left. Like we exhausted all of our energy trying to get those machines off of one site. We didn't need to get them stuck again on a second site. So the homeowner wanted to build 2 houses, one for himself and one for a rental. And he's doing it right. He wants to drill the well before he builds the house so he knows what he needs. Well, the well was only 160 feet deep, so it was like way under the estimate. So they're pretty much next door to one another. The irony of this is, I thought about filming it. If you go back and watch one of my live streams, it's probably like a 3 or 4 hour live stream. That well that I drilled throughout that live stream was right next door to this one. And I think that live stream well was 285 feet. I drilled a well 80 feet away from it and it's 165 feet. So there's no rhyme or reason to what your neighbor's well is and how deep your well is going to be and this, that, and the other thing. You never know how deep a well is going to go based on where you're at. But damn, thunder's crazy. Okay, time to go home. Well, thank y'all for watching. Hopefully the voice matches my lips. I don't know why my editor does that, but it's just a little frustrating sometimes. So thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all later. Peace.